What's up, everybody? Welcome to Fantasy Sports Now. Today, injury report as of 4/9. We got the latest injuries and what you need to look out for your fantasy leagues. If you like going right into content and not wasting time, hit that subscribe button because we do that with all of our content. So let's just dive right in here. First, we're starting off with Ketel Marte. Aggravated his hamstring, and it sounds like it was pretty bad, actually, pretty severe. And I'm a little proud of this channel because we kept talking about Ketel Marte. We kept talking about how you roll your ankle, and I did this myself. I talked about it in prior videos. You roll your ankle, and then all of a sudden you start adjusting your body, and you pull a hamstring, and then that hamstring you're adjusting your body again, and then you really pull a hamstring. This is exactly what's happening to Ketel Marte, which is awful because he was absolutely on fire. But he had that ankle injury coming into the season, and it was kind of like, yeah, he's probably fine, he's not fine. And is he going to go on the DL? Is he not? And it turns out he probably should have gone on the DL despite his hot production, because my guess is that the ankle has now led to this hamstring, and this hamstring sounds like it's very serious. So, unfortunately for the Ketel Marte owners, I think he's going to be on the DL for a while. And this is why you put these guys on the DL early, just in case, so they don't have further injuries. This is why Springer is on the DL. This is why a lot of people go on the DL to start the year. I'm protecting my player a little bit more than I need to because I don't want this kind of injury. All right, moving on. Terrible news here for Atlanta. Mike Soroka, who was looking like he was on his way back, looking like maybe even late April. He was a guy that I thought was going to be back sooner. Actually, he obviously tore apart his Achilles last year, but now all of a sudden he's got this shoulder discomfort, and shoulder discomfort for a pitcher is almost, it's not a death sentence. It's not like Tommy John, like I'm out for the year for sure. But it's one of those things that is just like, you do not want to hear that your pitcher has shoulder discomfort. It never ends well. And that might be, he might come back, he might pitch, and he might be pitching in May now or June. But when he comes back, he might not be out of the woods even so. So for me, Mike Soroka, that's a massive blow for the Braves. If this right shoulder really turns out to be something, they say there's no structural damage in the shoulder, yeah, but they say that all the time with guys that end up out for most of the years. They're shutting him down, basically. That's not good. That's not what you want to hear. For fantasy, it's not too bad unless you drafted really late and took him. Well, I guess if you drafted him early, I should say, and you took him too early and thought, oh, he'd be back. If you drafted late, then you took him as a flyer, and it was much later, and it wasn't too bad. But moving on, Ohtani is not going to make his next scheduled start. It's supposed to be Sunday. This is kind of expected from this channel. I always had said that, they're going to baby Ohtani big time when it comes to pitching. They're doing the whole 6-day start thing, or 6 starters, which sounds like now they're going to go back to 5, and I think they're going to do that quite often. I think they're going to skip his start a lot, and I get it. He's also valuable. He's hitting very well this year so far, and kudos to him because I think he's good for the game. But when it comes to pitching, where you get his true, real value, what people want to see him is pitch and hit, but mostly pitch because that's where his real fantasy value is. He's going to get babied in a big, big way. If he continues to hit, then he still has value, which is great. But pitching is where he gets it, and he's going to get skipped. I don't think it's blister related. I think it's because he got barreled and they're just trying to play it easy with him. Colton Wong has the unfortunate oblique issue that George Springer had. I don't know how, what grade it is. Like Springer was a grade 2. This one sounds like it's not as bad. It's more of a grade 1, but this is one of those things that lingers. So Colton Wong is only on a 2-year deal, so they might feel like, well, we need to get him out there and play him. Because we signed him and we're paying him a lot of money. But in doing that, they might hurt him further, which is kind of what we saw with Ketel. And so keep an eye on this. I don't know if he's owned in very many leagues, but for Milwaukee, it's not good because their offense is struggling again so much. It's hard to watch. That Corbin Burns start was hard to watch. He dominated, but the offense just did nothing for him. And it's so hard to watch those kind of games. Max Kepler, we're going to have to keep an eye on this because we have literally no information outside the fact that Max Kepler is hurt. So he's hurt. It doesn't say what or why or where. I could not find anything for any site of what it actually is. So he came out of the game and had some kind of injury. So I will keep you up to date on this. Tuesday, we'll see what happened, and if something comes out sooner than that, keep an eye on it. Big news here is James Paxton. It came out yesterday that he had a bicep strain or his bicep hurt, and as you know from me, bicep for me, if it's not a broken forearm like Zach Gallen, a bicep injury, and you're going to hear this over and over again, and you're going to start seeing the trends too, is a bicep injury leads to Tommy John. It just does. It seems to always do that. Forearm and bicep is usually not because of your forearm or bicep. It's usually because of your elbow. And I think that people haven't put those two and two together. And eventually, if you watch this channel enough, I think you will. Because this is 3 for 3 now on guys with bicep forearm. Or I should say 3 for 4 because Zach Gallen, again, had broken forearm, which who would have thought, you know. But so James Paxton is going to need Tommy John. This is almost a career threat for me because he's, 33, 34. It's going to take him a year to recover. He's going to be 35. He's got to get, thrown back into it. They won't baby him because he's older. A lot of these young guys get babied. But so he'll come back at 36 and try to make this, I don't know. I just don't see it. I hope that his career isn't over, but we might be heading in that direction. I realize you can still be effective and good at 36. That's not that old, people. I mean, Verlander just went through the same thing. Of course, Verlander's on a different level than Paxton, so big news there. Another one here with Trevor Rosenthal. I think that most of us thought that he was going to be out for a couple months. He had the shoulder problem. I think you heard it here first that we thought that it was going to be much longer than that, and it turns out that, yeah, it's going to be much longer than that. They put him on the 60-day IL. It sounds like it's going to be more than a month. It's going to be a few months. I'm thinking all-star break, honestly, at this point, at best case. It says at the end here that, the season might be over. It could be. They're hoping that it's not, and obviously I'm hoping that it's not as well, but I foresee this being a 6-month to end of season for him. So Dykman's out there, pick him up. Another one for Oakland. This is kind of a deeper one for all of you deeper leagues or dynasty leagues. AJ Puck again, left bicep strain. Bicep leads to Tommy John. He already had Tommy John. Oh boy, I feel bad for Puck. I mean, his mechanics are all over the place. I understand that, but it's like he's got this electric stuff, and it's never gonna come, and we're never gonna get to see it. He's been hurt for 5 straight years, it seems like. And if my theories are correct, left bicep strain is likely leading to probably another surgery. He's already had Tommy John, so he might need it again. That is possible. That is a thing. I hope the best for him. But in my league, I think our big dynasty league, it's a cut at this point. I can't do this anymore. I gotta let it go. Nate Pearson, similar kind of situation, but he's on the upswing. He seems to get hurt a lot. Keep this guy in mind just because when he gets back, I really feel like he's going to dominate. I really do. If he's still available in your league, it might be too early. If he's not available in your league, then, it is what it is. But if he's sitting there on the waivers, he might be a guy that you think about adding soon. So keep an eye on it because Nate Pearson's going to be throwing 100. He's going to be throwing bullets. Very likely to get hurt long term again, but you don't need him long term. Another one to keep an eye on is Chris Sale. I just want to start putting his name in here maybe every other time just to get an update on him. He's starting to throw again. Flat ground, this is a good start, There's not really a timeline for his return, but at some point he will be back this year. He should be back this year at some point. It's probably going to be later in the year, but I just want to throw him out there for now just to keep his name out on the radar. Last couple here, Aaron Judge is out again. Oh, who would have thought that the Yankees would have injury problems and Aaron Judge would be at the front of it. I've owned Aaron Judge for a long time. I love Aaron Judge. He's one of my favorite players in the game. I wish he wouldn't have fixed the gap in his teeth because I feel like that was kind of him, but whatever. We'll get past that. Aaron Judge is the man, and unfortunately it sounds like he's got general soreness. I expect him to play today. I could be wrong, but I expect him to play today. I expect him to be out there. I feel like he wants to prove that he can be healthy, and to do that, he needs to be playing. So I expect to see him out there, and if not, I don't really see a DL stint, but maybe an extra day playing this weekend. We'll see. George Springer, sounds like he hurt himself again, if I'm not mistaken. So he's got the oblique. What happened to him? I can't remember off the top of my head here, so I'm trying to read it as we go. But he had the oblique, and he's supposed to come back, and then he hurt. What was it? What was it? It wasn't his calf. What was it here? This looks like an old update, so sorry about that, guys. But he hurt something else, and you got to just keep an eye on it. It sounds like he's not going to come off the DL right away. Oh, it was his right quad. Okay. Yeah, there we go. It's right right there in the title. Good one. Nice catch, you know. So he's set for an MRI. So we'll see what happens here. It sounds like he's not going to come back right away like they hoped. And this is again why they put him on the DL, because you rush him back, and you continue to have injuries. This is running along, so I'm going to just breeze through these. Cody Bellinger, I think that he got spiked in the high ankle. So unless this is a high ankle like sprain, then I feel like he should be back. I've been cleated before, so it's not from that. The impact on the ankle could be the problem here, and they're just trying to play it safe, which I think is exactly what they're doing here. So I'm not too worried about Bellinger. I don't think he's going to go on the IL. They talked about him potentially going on the IL. I don't see that. Lingering soreness, I think he wants to be out there. I don't think, it's not worth risking it, because LA is going to be a playoff team and all that fun stuff. They're going for another World Series. But at the same time, if it's just a spike, if it's just soreness, he's not going on the IL. Anyway, guys, we'll see you next time. Hope you enjoyed. Hit that subscribe button.